Dear beloved brethren, God bless you. This is Zobida once again with today's reflections, and it's all about blocking God's hand of blessings. Beloved, the first words I try to utter when I awake in the morning is the name of the Lord. I bless my lips by saying His name repeatedly to begin my day. As I lay on my bed in the early morning, I pray that the windows of heaven be open this day for me and my loved ones, and that the blessing cup be overturned upon us, so that the blessings from above can be lavishly poured out upon us. Beloved, sometimes the hand of God is just hovering above, ready to bless us. But sad to say, we ourselves still His hand from pouring out the blessings that are intended for us, when we let the feelings of doubt and fear and despair control us. Yes, beloved, God is ready and willing to bless us, but we are so blinded and consumed by our past defeats and failures that we let these control our minds. And to make matters worse, we often vent our anger and frustration on God. Beloved, sometimes we expect far much more than we deserve. And so we tend to cripple ourselves when we put our faith in mere men, humans just like us, who in an instant can reject us. We choose what we can see instead of having faith and trusting a God who can strengthen us and give us the ability to stand firm and strong while the storms of life rage all around. Beloved, I urge you, don't let anything or anyone stop you from receiving your blessings. Remember, behind every dark cloud, there is a silver lining. Think about the leper that Jesus healed. He was considered an outcast, but that did not stop him from receiving his blessings. Think about the invalid man, a man crippled for 38 years. He lay at the pool waiting for the waters to be stirred up, hoping that this time someone would come and put him in the pool so that he could be healed. But his blessings came when Jesus said to him, "Get up, take up your bed and walk." And he was ready and willing to receive his blessings. Sometimes, beloved, the situations we face might overwhelm us, and we feel helpless and unable to cope. Many of us wait with the expectation that some visible sign will appear to convict our hearts that God is working on our behalf and that our deliverance is just moments away. But beloved, remember, as children of God, we walk by faith and not by sight, and our deliverance can only come when we have reached a point of total surrender, and to know that there isn't anything more that we can do, but to now depend fully upon God. It is when we have reached the final stage of giving up and allowing God to work, placing everything in His mighty hands and just leaving it there. When we have reached a point of total helplessness, that is when deliverance comes. Sometimes God allows us to go through the fiery furnace to cleanse and purify us and make us worthy of the blessings in store for us. He knows our circumstances, and He knows just how much we can endure. So, beloved, don't fall prey to those who claim to have our best interest at heart. For when your blessings come, they too will want to lay claim on them. Beloved, believe with all your heart that your day of blessings is at hand. No storm can rage forever. Sooner or later, a new and glorious morning will appear. And also bear this in mind, that you cannot expect God to bless you if you are not being a blessing for God by serving His people. Luke chapter 6 verses 38 says, "Give and it will come back to you, full measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." It is said that the simplest act of kindness is by far more powerful than 1,000 heads bowed in prayer. And it is said that those who bring sunshine to the lives of others just cannot keep it from themselves. Also, beloved, unconfessed sins is another way of blocking God's blessings. Sin, beloved, is one of the main causes of blocking God's blessings. 1 John chapter 1 verses 9 says, "If we confess our sins, He is faithful and just and will forgive our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness." And Romans chapter 5 verses 20 says that where sin abounds, grace abounds all the more. And also we know that the grace of God covers over a multitude of sins. But first we have to confess our sins so that the grace of God could abound all the more. God's hand of blessing could never be still from a heart that is full of grace and truth. God knows our heart. He knows what we are capable of. Sometimes God might choose not to bless us in what He knows might not be good for us or might not be beneficial to us. And this can be a blessing in disguise. Mark chapter 11 verses 24 says, "Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours." And so, beloved, if you believe that your blessings are not coming, maybe your faith might be wavering, maybe your motives do not meet God's requirements. Psalm 37 verses 4 says, "Make God your everything, and He will grant you your heart's desires." Beloved, if God is your first and foremost priority, there isn't anything He will ever deny you. God is not obligated to any of us, and so maybe He wants you to become totally and fully dependent upon Him before the blessings come. As I always say, we can plead and beg and kick and scream, but God will do exactly as He very well pleases, and He will always act in His own time. He has a unique way of pouring out our blessings when we least expect it, in His own time. We cannot force His hand, and we cannot make Him do anything. Scriptures tells us that if God is for us, who can be against us? And that no one can curse what God has blessed. But our blessings can only be achieved by total obedience to God. Beloved, if you are obedient to God, nothing can stop your blessings from flowing. Blessings will come, blessings that you cannot contain, they will come to you. Yes, beloved, the blessings from God is privileged to every believer, but we can block it by our way of life. The long and short of the story is, what you sow is exactly what you will reap. Beloved, the greatest blessing man could have ever received is the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus. Yes, Jesus died so that we could have life, and by His resurrection, He conquered death, hell, and the grave. And so we have each one of us being redeemed from the curse that fell on Christ on our behalf, so that the righteousness of God could fall on us, though we did not deserve it. And 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verses 21 says, "God made Him who had no sin to be sin for us, that we might become the righteousness of God." Beloved, no one can stop the blessings that God has for you, not even the enemy. God's way is not just the best way, but it is the only way. So, beloved, keep your focus on Jesus while you await your blessings. And so, Lord, my God, help us to live in a way pleasing to you and to show compassion and love to our fellow men, thus fulfilling our God-given potential. Beloved, may God bless you. May you have an extremely wonderful and a beautiful day today. God bless you in every possible way. When upon life's billows you are tempest tossed, when you are discouraged, thinking all is lost, count your many blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done. When you look at others with their land and gold, think that Christ has promised you his wealth untold. Count your many blessings money cannot buy, your reward in heaven nor your home on high. So count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done. God bless you, beloved. Do have an awesome day today. Be blessed in every possible way.